friends, it's Holly. Welcome to Dandelion Stitches. How are ya? Welcome if you're new, welcome if you're not new. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. So, how are ya all? I hope you're good. It's February. Doesn't it just seem like Christmas was yesterday? Time just goes so quickly. Well, today's project is a heart table runner, and in the end, I'm happy. But did you ever have one of those projects that was, like literally cursed from the beginning to the end? It's like, part of it is my fault because I do tend to go a little rogue. What's my hair doing? But I had filming that went corrupt. I had bobbin issues. I cut the binding and I sort of measured it, sort of. But I looked at it and I went, that looks like enough binding. It's not very big. Yeah, it looks like is not accurate math. You need to do the math, which I hate math. And I should have done the math. But in the end, and I also, I tried to get creative in the quilting and ended up ripping it all out. Picking out little quilting stitches is not the best way to spend your time. But in the end, like I said, it turned out okay. So I apologize if things get a little disjointed here and there. Like I said, there were some corrupted file pieces, and let's just get on with it, shall we? Okay, see you in the next reel. Okay, friends, are we ready to venture back into the land of hearts? I like a heart. I have a friend who collects hearts, and that's perfect for her because she's very, very big-hearted. So the pattern I'm going to use is this Missouri Star Quilts Company Flirty Table Runner. I have so much respect for people who have to name things. I just can't imagine sitting around a table with a bunch of colleagues and it's like, okay, what are we going to name it? Well, let's name it Hearts. No, too many hearts. Let's name it Valentine's. No, we don't want to just like close it into that Valentine's box. What are we going to call it? Let's call it Flirty. Okay, that's cool. I did pay for this pattern, so I technically cannot give you sizes and, specifics, but it was very inexpensive, like $4.99 or something similar, and it is a PDF, so you can get it like that. So if you're interested, I recommend. I think it's a good one. So we need some 5-inch squares. The pattern calls for 5-inch squares. As always, you can cut your own 5-inch squares, but in essence, you're going to need 3 sets of 4. So I've got a kind of navy blue, I've got a tealish turquoisey blue, and then I've got this pink because it is, after all, Valentine's Day. So, and then I have a charm pack of Bella Solids in white. You're going to need some backing, or what would be called the background fabric, in also white, which every good stash, here's my little tip for the day, every good stash needs several yards of a good white and several yards of a good black. And then you're going to need fabric for binding, for borders, because it's got this pretty hefty border, and binding and backing, of course. So I went with, this is going to be the border, this is going to be the binding and the backing. So as I did with the other one, I will go through the creation of the hearts with you and then show you how the rest of it goes. And like the pillow, you can decide if it works for you. So it suggests that you take the background squares. Does anyone feel like their sewing or creative, let me just say, their creative space, their studio, so to speak, is big enough? Because I just don't. I just don't think it's big enough. There just isn't, you know, there could be a slight craft hoarding problem, but, you know, anyway. It suggests that you take these background squares, and instead of drawing a diagonal a diagonal line, of which we now have a wonderful tool to do so, it suggests that you fold them in half. Wouldn't it be easier to draw a line? Probably. Okay, but we're going to follow the pattern because that's what it says to do. And press it down. And that creates your stitch line. We're going to do that to the bottom two. This has got to be like watching paint dry, right? Press, 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 press. And then we're going to go to the machine, and I am going to stitch and stitch, and then I'll be back. So when I went to edit, I discovered that a few of the shorter clips that I did earlier were corrupt. So plan B. Basically, it was just showing me constructing the four corners of your eventual heart. So eventually it's going to look like this, but this is where we start. And the earlier clip I showed how we were going to fold it and then stitch on that fold line. So after you've done that and you stitched, you can just go ahead and take your rotary cutter and snip off one half of that. So then you'll be left with something that looks like that. So this is the bottom corner of your heart. Same thing with this one. So then very similar to what we did with the heart pillow, we're gonna stitch bottom, top, however, whichever direction is fine. We just want the point here. So we want the seam to go towards the top, and then do the same thing. Once you've sewn it, you just take your rotary cutter, zip through on this side. I'm so sorry, the morning junk in my throat. And then you'll have something that looks similar to that. And you'll have the top part of your hearts. So in the next clip, we should have all four sections of the heart done, ready to sew. Please, all of the video goblins, go away. Okay, so we got beginnings of a heart. So these two pieces were sewn on, and then these. So we have four sections. So now I'm going to take the top section, turn it over. I swear, I can't sew a straight line to save my life. Okay, I will probably do a little ripping and fixing here, but anyway, we're gonna stitch here, then we're gonna fold the bottoms over, and we're gonna stitch here, and I'm gonna do that to all of them. And once they are stitched together there and here, we're gonna take this top piece, turn it down, stitch here, and there should be a heart. So I will take care of all that and return. And we have hearts. Blue heart, teal heart, pink heart. So now I have to take these little border pieces and sew them so that there's a border piece between each one, so there's a border piece here, 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 here. And then I'll be ready to go ahead and do the border. Pretty darn easy. I'll be back when I have more. Here's where I am. I'm almost ready to quilt. I decided that I didn't like just one pattern for the border. That I don't know, I just went rogue. I just decided I wanted something but different. So I took the 5-inch squares that were left over in the charm pack, which are Longitude. I'll put it in the description box. And I sewed them all together and cut strips to make the border, and I made the border 2.5 inches wide. So it's going to come out to be 14 inches wide and 40, maybe 42 inches long. So I am ready to go ahead and put the backing and the batting in and do some quilting. So far, so good. As with all things, it could have been better, but I'm happy. I'm happy, and it looks pretty on the table, and it's good. I need to remember, math again, measuring, that I like my table runners thinner because I don't have a very big table, and so I would rather that it just be kind of thin down the middle, but it's okay. It's okay. So thanks for watching. I hope you will consider making yourself a heart table runner, and maybe this helped you, maybe not. Maybe they're all cursed and you should just walk away now before the curse hits you. I'm not sure. But anyway, be well, be safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.